Hello, this is my review of Split Fiction, which I played on the PS5. I am the casual noob gamer. I am the casual noob gamer on YouTube and the casual noob gamer on Twitch. Like, subscribe, comment for more reviews and videos and streams on Twitch. So basically, Split Fiction is a co op game. So you need someone to play with to play this game. I had a bit of a snafu when I first started to play. For some reason, a previous PlayStation account that I had that I no longer use was showing up not on my end, but on my friend's end because they were very surprised when they said, "Who is this person?" And I was like, "Oh, that is my old PlayStation account, which should be." Well, you can't delete an account, but I moved over from that account to this account that I'm using now. Um, Basically, the reason was religious reasons. I didn't like the name, and at the time, this was about 15 years ago, you could not change your PlayStation name. So, my only option, according to PlayStation support in the matter, was to create a new account, which I did and I've been using since then. But for some reason, it is linked to my EA account along with my new PlayStation account, and I cannot unlink them. So luckily, I was able to call PlayStation, not call PlayStation support, chat with them online, and they were able to get me into the old account so I can go in there and change the username once and for all, which is what I wanted to do originally. So yeah, that was fun that you were kind of forced into using your EA account to play online. There is crossplay in this. When I used my Xbox account, it was also showing up with my PlayStation account, which was the one that I didn't want to use on there. So that was a bit of an issue on my end. It is rectified and fixed. I was able to play the game. I played it and beat it with my friend. We also platinumed it. The platinum was not uh, easy. It was a lot harder than It Takes Two. I have to say that the platforming, they simplified some of it. Some of the platforming is just push in a direction and hit A to jump from spot to spot. And it's kind of like pre-done. And that's not a majority of the game. For the majority of the game, you're doing normal platforming, and you have your double jumps, your dashes, whatnot. Uh, Overall, the experience, I really enjoyed this game. My friend also very much enjoyed this game. We were very much looking forward to playing this game. You basically play as either one of two writers who are trying to get published, and they go to a corporation that is agreeing to publish them, which, as new writers, is something hard to break into. And they soon learn that there's a machine that they have to go into to get published, and they told it's kind of sort of like an experiment or sort of a medical exam, if I remember correctly. I might not be remembering correctly. And basically, um, the machine, it basically winds up stealing people's ideas and their stories to power some sort of machine that kind of gives an appearance that it's a corporation trying to use an AI driven machine to steal ideas and to create, I guess, their own thing from what they're doing. And somehow they think that this is ethical and okay, which you and the other character that's playing along with you in the co-op mode, you're playing as either Mio or Zoe. The both characters do not like this and set out to stop this machine from doing what it's doing. And in the process, you then have side stories which are other things because in the game, Mio has a sci-fi kind of book that she's trying to publish. So all her worlds that you go into from Mio are sci-fi based, and Zoe's fantasy based, and you kind of jump back and forth between the two of them. And then there's little side stories of just like smaller stories that they've written over time that you try to basically, once you play through those levels, you get those out of the machine so the machine can no longer take those. So I found those personally as something that was in my personal view, I was very motivated to do those, even though there was a trophy for doing all those. But if there wasn't a trophy, I still would have wanted to do them because the sheer fact of I'm a big proponent of anyone trying to preserve and protect people's ideas and intellectual properties because I don't feel that they should be stolen by a big corporation or even a little guy in a kind of a piracy setting. You know, this is something that if you've ever created or done any kind of work artistically and you've created something and then someone comes and tries to take that work and then monetize what you've done and make money off of the back of your labor when all they did basically was take it and do something with it. So I don't approve or like that personally myself, and I try myself to not go into that realm myself in doing stuff like that. So yeah, the game had a very nice and a good message for people who are in a development or a creative field, and you know you have that motivation there and that drive to that this is what you're fighting for, this is what you're trying to do. And then also in the story, you know, both characters have personal, you know, things that have happened in their life, you know, things that kind of have hurt them and you know made their life, you know, a little bit sadder. And as you're in this machine that's pulling ideas from their minds, you're delving into, you know, because what also you're delving into the stories that they're writing. That's what the worlds are. But everyone who writes something knows when you write, you kind of put a little bit personal of yourself and your life and your experience and your just a part of you into it. So a lot of these stories sometimes had sometimes of a sad point to it. There was actually one point in the game where I got choked up and was very sad, and I knew the sad thing that was going to happen was going to be coming, and I still got hit by it and was emotionally torn when I saw it and was just like, oh, this is horrible. And I, you know, I shed a little tear myself with it watching it. And so the game made me feel it was a great experience. The puzzles were well done. You know, the fact that you couldn't proceed to most area, well, all areas, unless you both did something to get it to go forward. If you played It Takes Two, you'll understand the the gameplay and how it works. But they did so much more than It Takes Two, and added so much more. And the boss battles were really a lot of fun, and the game itself was a lot of fun, which I've said before and I will say again. So yet again, this is a game that I played this year that I very much enjoyed, and I would definitely recommend this to anyone. Obviously, if you play it though, you do need someone else to play. The good thing is there's something called the Friends Pass, where you basically only one person needs to own the game. The other person can download a free copy of the game to play as a companion for the game. On the Friends Pass, though, the only downside is you don't get any trophies or achievements or progress that way if you do that. So if you're an achievement hunter and you want that kind of stuff, you need to have the full purchase game to play it. I did in my uh, experience of trying to get my name changed and not playing under that name because I had vowed not to play under that other PlayStation account name. I wound up buying an Xbox version of the game to see if I play on Xbox, if I could just do that, because there is crossplay. So as long as you just link your EA account to the platform, you could play through that way. But that, for some reason, like I said, did not work, and I had to wind up just getting the old account finally changed and dealing with that long issue that I've had. So this is Casual Noob Gamer with another review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like, subscribe, comment below, and I will see you at the next review or video. Have a good day.